Okay, friends, and
Oh no.
I have a fur. Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing yet another quick eyeshadow tutorial using the DANESSA MYRICKS LIGHTWORK 5 palette, which I'm obviously obsessed with. Today we are going to be focusing on the pinks and purples in this palette, mostly just because we want to do like a romantic rave vibey type look. So for those of you that are getting ready for Valentine's Day, like G-Brown and I, typically when Valentine's Day falls on like a weekday, we're both like, can't be arsed to really like go and do anything. I think our current plans right now are to get Taco Bell and to watch like a TV show, which, look, sounds delightful, but obviously we're gonna celebrate Valentine's Day at a rave a couple of days later, and so I was like, let me put together a look that I would wear if I wanted to go to a rave, but I wanted to use really, really romantic vibes and tones for that, and of course, must use the DANESSA MYRICKS LIGHTWORK 5 palette. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieve this look, please feel free to keep watching. So to do this romantic eye, we're really going to be sticking here in this section with all of the pinks and purples. So we are going to lay down Unbreakable first, and then we're going to add a little bit of deepness with Healed, brighten it up with Loved, and then continue to brighten it up with Protected, which is like this awesome, like pinky purple, like silver shifty color, which is quite frankly just one of the most stunning colors in the palette. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to take Unbreakable on an eyeshadow brush, and this is a flat brush here. We have dogs roaming around, so that's why my lights are moving in the back. And we're gonna go ahead and sweep that across our entire lid. Of course, you guys know I have the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the anti-aging formula already applied on my lids to ensure that everything goes on very smoothly. This is actually one of her formulas that I would say you definitely do not have fallout with this one. So this is one of her suede shimmers. I tend to find that like more of the glitter formulas, like you might have a little bit of fallout with the DANESSA MYRICKS palette. The suede shimmers really tend to just stick very, very nicely. If you are someone that is opposed to having glitter fallout on your face, which sometimes some people are, and that's totally fine. You can always put on your eyeshadow before doing your foundation. Obviously, when I'm doing these like eyeshadow tutorials, I always just do my entire face and then I come back and do eyeshadow on camera. So really just sweeping across the lid, again in my favorite half moon shape. And I'm bringing it a little bit higher, a little bit more into my crease so that when I open my eye, you can still see that color sitting above like my eye line, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. And then from here, what we're going to do is we are going to just kind of brighten this a little bit. So obviously like the Unbreakable shade is a little bit more on like a deeper pinky violet tone. And so if you want to add just a little bit of brightness to your look, I love a good layer. And so we're going to take Loved, which is this super, super romantic pink shade, and we are going to layer it just over the inner half of our eye. And I'm just going to take my brush actually and just flip it over and use the other side of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pat this. Now with her glitter formulas, I like a patting motion, not so much of that sweeping motion that I was doing before. So you can really see I'm just going to push that directly onto the eyeshadow that we have on already and layer it on, and again bring brightness into the inners of my eye. Dude, I love this palette so much. Like, it is so easy to work with. It is so easy to get a really beautiful multi-dimensional look. This is a limited edition palette, unfortunately, so if you are interested in getting it, like, jump on it, you know? Okay, and because we want this to be of like a romantic ravey look, so like you could bring this to like raves and stuff, you know what I mean? We are gonna do a heavier liner today, so I'm gonna use my Tom Ford Eye Defining pen. I'm going to use the thicker side here to really make sure that I get a very defined but like much more bold winged eyeliner than I normally do. Let's hope they match. All right, there's potential there. There's potential for matching. All right, here we go. So the way that I do my liner is I draw the line first, and then I pick the halfway point on that line and I bring it into the center of my eye. This is literally the easiest way to do liquid liner. If you are looking for a drugstore version of a really good liquid liner, I would highly recommend checking out the Physicians Formula liquid liner. And then I just kind of take that point from the top, at the very top of the line, and I just connect it right into that halfway point. Okay, so I like how that looks, and this is the part where we are really going to turn this look into something that's a little bit more graphic. And so we are going to take the healed shade here, which is this beautiful purple, like glittery shade, and we are going to outline pretty much on top of this eyeshadow and also wing that out as well. So I'm taking a angled liner brush. This is one from ColourPop. This is their E6 brush. Adding it here, getting that part started, and then very carefully, not with my caffeine shaky hands, we're gonna go ahead and kind of just wing this out as well. And now you're probably wondering, like, well, there's a weird gap there. Don't worry, we will fill it in. And if you ever feel like your liner got too thick or anything like that, you can always go in with a Q-tip, kind of clean up those edges. You just saw me kind of use my nail to kind of just drag it out a little bit and get it to wing out a little bit more. Always a solid technique as well, but just make sure that your hands are clean, okay? No touching your face without clean hands. My hands are so shaky from all the caffeine that I just drank. I can't do anything.
Loser. Hands like your caffeine.
You're shaking just as much as me. Get out of here.
I always shake.
And once we have finished that, we are just going to fill in the gaps a little bit just to kind of bring some cohesion between where this ends right here and then that shape as well. So again, going back in with my flat brush and just on the like tippy tip, we're gonna just fill in a tiny bit here and just make sure that there is a little bit of a gradient here, mimicking again that shape. So the reason why I go back and fill this in is because like if I don't know the shape of like where my liner is gonna end up, like it's really hard for me to kind of like do that already, right? So this is kind of like a cheating hack to just do all of your lines first, all your graphics first, and then go back in and kind of fill in the gaps where they exist. We're now going to take the Nabla Cosmetics. This is their Cupid's Arrow Full Color Stylo. I have this in the shade black, and this is what we're going to use on our waterline. You guys know, typically speaking, I always do a really, really dark, heavy line when I am trying to get my eyes to look as big as possible and be as accentuated as possible. This is a product I discovered last month. In the month of January, and like freaking love this, man. Like I'm gonna get more shades of this for sure because it's so good. And to just add a little bit more purple, a little bit more depth into this look, I am gonna continue to grab that healed shade, that purple shade, and I'm gonna smoke out my lower line with this, which is, I freaking love this. It's so easy. And the finishing touches here is just because I do feel like when you're doing like a really graphic look with a lot of like darkness, a lot of depth to it, I do like to add a touch of brightness. So this is where we're going to actually grab that shade Protected here, which is that awesome like silvery, purpley, pinkish shift here. And this is what's gonna go into our inner corner to really just highlight everything and just make the eye look a tiny bit bigger. The other thing that I love about the DANESSA MYRICKS palette, which I've now talked about multiple times on my channel, but like that's how you know you really like something, is that everything that you do in this palette, the way that everything is organized, the colors that she chose, the way that you can build looks together, everything is very, very cohesive, right? So you can literally see these pinks and purples, like their undertones are similar enough that they do mesh really well together. However, the shades themselves like are very contrasting, so you can do a lot of different kinds of looks with this. Like I could totally walk around with just like this purple shade all over my lid and that would be absolutely beautiful, but a totally different look than what I have today. The best thing about this eyeshadow palette again, right, is it just hits so well on every single point, right? The usability of it, the lasting power of it, and then like the color story is just absolutely incredible as well. Again, really, really happy with my purchase here. If you guys are looking to get this, I would not wait. And we are going to add mascara and then we are done. Okay guys, and that pretty much finishes up the look. Obviously, if you wanted to add a pair of falsies, so false eyelashes on top of this look to make your eyes look even more incredible and amazing, you obviously can. Today is a very casual Wednesday that we are filming this, so I will not personally be adding falsies, but you get the general idea of how this kind of looks with a really, really thick layer of mascara. If you're not a fan of falsies, you can always just do lots and lots and lots of coats of mascara. It gets you kind of to a similar point as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this really quick tutorial on yet another eyeshadow look with the DANESSA MYRICKS Lightwork 5 palette. Super in love with this palette. This thing is like my ride or die these days when I want to do really, really colorful looks. Like this is just so easy to use. eyeshadows. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.